Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ratliff Stadium. It's week 2 around the area. 2017 football season. Permian Panthers started off last week with a hard-fought 28-24 victory over Vandergriff out of Austin Leander. Their opponent tonight, the El Paso Franklin Cougars, really put a number on Midland High by 48-22 last week. I don't know that this game will be quite the blowout it was last year up in El Paso. It should be quite a different story, and we'll find out what transpires here in just a moment. Franklin won the toss. They have deferred. Permian will start on offense when we return.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. Crave Rider! He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Our Trans-Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the good folks at Medical Center Hospital and Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory. As we're waiting the Cougars to hit the field, let's ask Kyle what his keys to the game are tonight.
Well, I think 3 Permian keys tonight. Usually I try to do it offensively, defensively, and special teams. But I think overall for Permian tonight, there's 3 things they've got to do. They need to fix the turnover problem that they had in Game 1. And don't let Franklin hang around in the game. When you have those turnovers, you give them momentum and a chance to make some things happen and stay in the game and even win. Second of all, I think you've got to play with some confidence, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Don't give up the big play. And then third of all, just be consistent and play Permian football tonight. Play to your potential. Let your skill people do what they need to on offense. On defense, as we said, swarm to that ball and make some things happen and just play your game.
Now Franklin jumped out in front of Midland High 34-10 at halftime last week, and the Bulldogs just really had no chance after that. So Miller's going to return the opening kickoff out to the 18. Steve Steen, the quarterback tonight, the senior, signal caller. Ed Williams is running back. Todrick Robinson, Justin Hammond, Keyshawn Jones, Brother Miller, Nicavian White, Seth Higdon, Devin Graham, Zach Hawkes. Man, they got a lot of receivers. And I will tell you the linemen here in just a second.
Franklin going to start with a 4-man defensive front, 3 linebackers and 4 in the secondary. So let's see how Permian chooses to attack that front tonight.
They're going to start from the 19 rather than the 18. Steen's going to pitch it back to his wing back, or slot receiver, I guess, is what they call Hammond. Justin Hammond will get his first carry of the night. Carried the ball a few times last week very effectively. 9 times for 48 yards, a little over 5 yards a pop, and gets a lot more than that here. And
did a really good job of running the option read there. Decided to keep it, pitch it at the last moment, got Hammond around the corners. You saw in our Trans-Global Productions instant replay, and a first down for the Panthers at the 35.
Yep, 16 yards. Now they're going to pitch it back to Miller. Gets out of that attempted tackle. Is not going to get hardly anything, maybe a yard. Here are the guys up front. They are Orion Farley, and Landon Peterson, the tackles. Dawson Reynolds, Pablo Oliveras, the guards, and John Hignahojos, the center.
Yeah, didn't get the block out on the corner up there on first down. So what made the play was the corner coming in, stabbing in and making that play for only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, made a tackle too. I mean, he didn't just pop and get out of the way.
Right.
So Steen's going to keep it here. Not going to get anything, and it's going to be a 3rd and 9.
Good penetration by that Franklin defense up front. Like I said, they run a 4-man three linebacker front with George Pampa, Nathan Loya, Patrick Baca, and Johnny Ceros up front. Caleb Gutierrez, David Powers, and Jacob Sievek at the backer positions. Ethan Bustillos, Markel Golden at the corners, and Mark Feste and James McLean Green are the safeties.
Looks like they're well, they're going to have to call timeout first, so we'll take it with them. No score early in the ball game.
Panthers, first team timeout.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and the Permian Basin area-wide phone book. Well, you'd think Brother Miller's who he's going to throw it to.
Yep, 3rd and long. This is a definite passing situation for the Panther offense.
He's in the slot here on the right side. They're going to run it. Steen's going to pitch it back, and Hammond's not going to go anywhere because he was completely collapsed on by who got him?
Looked like the corner of the safety down here on the pitch. He almost stepped in front of that and took it the other way. Probably should have given the ball there. I'm kind of surprised that they decided to go that route for early in the ball game. Kind of a little feeling out process for the offense after that initial first down, and now the Panthers are going to have to punt the football away.
Abe Anabi is who came up and made the tackle. Punt will mean that not Tascosa, but Franklin be on offense for the first time.
Yeah, not a real good punt there. Only about 10 or 11 yards.
Ugh.
Actually 26 yards. And the Panther defense is going to have to step up early. They've got good field position. I'm talking about the Franklin Cougars at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, then Permian had a 16-yard run to start that drive off, and then just kind of
didn't get much. It did 3 and out.
And then nothing after that.
Yep, 3 and out. And now the defense has got to make something happen.
So Chris Kelly will pitch it back to Dominguez. Dominguez had a heck of a year last year. Seth Dominguez is who I'm talking about, number 21.
Andy Notley from his linebacker position filling the hole there for only a 2-yard gain.
1,349 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. So you know they're going to count on him a bit. Only got a yard there, though, because they collapsed down on him. Who'd you say made the tackle?
That was, I gave the tackle to Andy Notley, number 32, from his linebacker position.
So Dominguez will carry it here, and again, he's not going to get absolutely go anywhere. As up there to make the tackle is the nose guard for the Panthers, Dorian Rand.
And Dorian did a good job of getting off the block and sliding right down the line of scrimmage for an absolute no-yard gain.
Well, That will bring up, they got a yard actually, so they're going to call it a 3rd and 8. Need to get out to midfield for a first since they started from the 40. So let's see if the Permian pass defense can tighten up. They had a little bit of trouble in that area last week. Now, try to get it out to his receiver on the right, and not going to connect because of Preston Ellison, who had a nice write-up in the paper with Royal McGregor in the 08 today. And it falls incomplete. So the Permian 4 plays and punt. The defense turns it around and forces a 3-and-out by El Paso Franklin.
Excellent first series for that Panther defense. Didn't give up but 2 yards, as you said, on 3 plays. Great coverage by Preston there, and they're going to have pretty decent field position. Nobody deep, though, to pick this ball up.
Yeah, is that a mistake?
Well, I think.
I mean, why would you let it bounce all the way down into the end zone, which is good because it's going to come out to the 20?
Well, maybe they saw something on film, Barry, where it was better to be in coverage there and maybe not give up a fake or a pass of some kind, run to give them possession of the ball still. So I'm not real sure. It looked like they had 11 on the field and just chose not to have anybody back on that punt. So the Panthers will start their second drive of the game from their own 20-yard line.
Audrick, who didn't play much at all last week, is going to be split wide to the top of the screen with Brother inside of him. Looks like a running play. Going to be Steen again. Did not hand the ball off to Williams. It's going to be a first down, and Steve is on the move. Steve's all the way down the sideline looking for a block. Steve's going to get inside the 30, down to the 29.
Well, good read by Steve right here. Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Rides the ball into Williams' belly, pulls it out, gets around the corner. Good job right there by Todrick Robinson to get the block and Springsteen right on down the yeah, exactly. Springsteen down the sideline for a Panther first down at the Franklin 28-yard line.
Yeah, 52-yard run for him. Going to pitch it out again. Again, it's going to be Hammond who got caught at the 25. And they've seen that play.
Well,
last year, before 2016, Permian had never played Franklin. They had played the other 12 teams in El Paso, had a combined 63 wins, 4 losses, and a tie before finally meeting Franklin last year, and they won. So they have won 64 of the 69 games against El Paso schools, and most of them never lost to. Steen's going to throw it here. Has a man open down the middle. Oh, is he wide open? And that's Brother into the end zone for his first score of the year. And Steen connects with his best receiver, and Permian is on the board.
Good read by Steve right here. You can see on our replay, the safety in the middle of the field just didn't see Brother get behind him. That's probably a busted coverage by the Cougar secondary. And Steve read it and put the ball right in Brother's between the 1 and the 8.
Yep.
And the Panthers are on the board first here with 7:16 left in the first quarter.
And they're going to call on Carson Roberts to come put the extra point on the board, which he does. So Permian breaks out on top early by 7-0. 7:16 to play in the quarter. Back in a moment.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
Our Transglobal Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker. and by Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. Well, that was a quick 80-yard drive that took them only 3 plays in a minute, 5 seconds. 52-yard play and a 25-yarder gets you down the field in a hurry. Steen's second toss for a TD of the season. His first to Miller. This comes from 25 yards out. He had a 23-yarder last week to win the game to Justin Hammond.
And Barry, as Larry pointed out in the break, Steve Steen is reading that option very well, pulling that ball from Ed Williams' belly and getting on around the corner. He's had a couple of good pitches, and then that run down the sideline over there really set the Panthers up very nicely on that drive.
Carson Roberts will kick it. And caught fairly at the 30.
Yep, they obviously have seen also on film the potential for the Franklin Cougars on return to maybe bust some yards out. They just pooched it down here, and kid, as you said, made the fair catch. They'll have the ball at the 30. That way you don't give up a lot of yards and maybe some good field position. Let's see what the Panther defense does now on their second possession on the field as a defense.
Those El Paso teams I was talking about earlier. Coronado had a tie against Permian. Montwood has won 2 of the 6. Ysleta 1 of the 3. And El Dorado in a playoff game up in Lubbock, that was one of the other losses to an El Paso team. Yeah, not much running room there, and Permian clamps it down in a hurry.
Tell you what, if Andy Notley doesn't make this tackle right here on our instant replay, he's got some yards in the middle of the field. Good pressure and good coverage in the secondary by the Permian Panther defense, and Notley steps up to stop that for only about a 1-yard gain.
Franklin last week put up 410 yards of offense on Midland High in that big victory. Out here at Ratliff last night, we got to see Odessa High win their second game of the year. This is week 2 of the season. Over in Midland, it was quite a shootout. 111 points, 1,100 yards of offense. Montwood beat the Midland Bulldogs after beating Friendship the week before 70-14. Quarterback threw for over 500 yards, about 400 and something yards, and 8 touchdowns.
You're talking about that Montwood squad. They're airing that thing out the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, the receiver had like 3 touchdowns and a whole bunch of yardage. Well, Ellison is going to just drop the quarterback to the turf. Kelly didn't have a chance at all as Permian just basically collapsed the wall and came after him.
Watch the replay from the south end zone. Ellison's going to come from the right of your screen and just did a good job of getting pressure off the edge. Pocket collapses around the quarterback. The Panthers are going to go 3 and out again defensively, which is great news for them. And now they do have a returner back. They're going to have pretty decent field position around the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they lost 7 on that one.
It'll be a little better than that if he can field it.
Todrick, if he fields it, will have a little bit of room to run. E5, that's going to be a penalty and bring it back. Todrick's going to take it all the way down beyond the 40 and beyond midfield, but it looks like it'll come back.
Yeah, this is going to be a block in the back. I think maybe on a DME here. We'll get the call from Chuck Alderson. He's our head referee tonight. I'll give you the officials in a minute.
Block in the
Go
back.
ahead.
Number 29 of the receiving team. Be a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Our head referee is Chuck Alderson. The umpire is Delvin Gwynn. Line judge is Randall Morris. The head linesman Jesse Acosta. And the back judge is Corey Marshall. This is a Permian Basin chapter officiating crew.
Delvin Gwynn, isn't that Herman Munster?
Could be. No, it's Herman.
No,
well,
that's Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn, that's right.
My bad.
And it's spelled differently, too.
My bad. Permian leading 7-0 after the 25-yard touchdown pass from Steen to a wide open Brother Miller. Now we'll start from the 17-yard line after the mark-off on the block in the back. Mr. Ed's in the backfield with Steen. Steen has been reading that option, reading the defense very well and keeping the ball rather than handing it off to his running back. We'll see if that continues.
Yeah, you're talking
Devin
about the
Graham
option.
is here on the bottom right.
Mm-hmm. Throw the bubble out there.
Yep, thought for a second that Miller was going to wind up the arm and throw it. Instead, he's going to get out to the 22, so it's a gain of 5.
Yep, the bubble screen from the slot receiver.
Now, why do they call it a bubble screen again?
Well, because the slot receiver actually kind of runs a little half-circle route out to the sideline, depending on where he's lined up, either far or near. Looks like a little half bubble if you draw it on the board. And that's why it's called that, a good pitch and catch and a nice 5-yard gain on first down. Now you can kind of do whatever you want here on 2nd and 5.
Probably going to run it Davian White, top of the screen. Down here at the bottom, both Miller and, again, it's going to be Graham.
Look how soft the corners are, Barry, right now. Let's see if they decide to
there's where they're going to throw it to, right?
Yep, there it is. Just wasn't open. Whoa.
Just get rid of it.
Well, it has to cross the line of scrimmage. This is going to be very close.
Line of scrimmage was the 22.
And they are going to call it an incomplete pass. Good job and good balance by Steve right there to try to kind of save the day on the play and make it 3rd and 5. It sure could have been a lot worse. Good pressure by that Cougar front 4 of their defense.
Yep, a very good job by Steen to keep his balance and finally get away enough to just get rid of it. Instead of facing a 3rd and long, it's just going to be 3rd and 5. Could have been 3rd and 20.
Yep. There's the pitch. Ooh, ball's on the ground. Yep, and the turnover happens for the Franklin defense right there at the Permian 26-yard line. This was one of my keys. This is one Steve would probably like to just go ahead and eat. Again, we're not getting the corner blocked out here by the receiver. They're getting penetration. Evidently, Franklin's game plan on the pitch, option to the outside, is to get the corners to come up to the pitch man. Got to get those guys blocked. If not, you don't have an alley to run through. And the Cougars are set up 1st and 10, like I said, from the Panther 27-yard line.
Yep, just a bad pitch and couldn't get a hold of it. Now Kelly's looking to pass. Here comes some pressure. Has a man open. He's got just a little bit of a step on Ademi, but falls incomplete as Rahib was with him step for step, and will bring up a 2nd and 10.
Good coverage by Raheem right there to get in a situation or a position where he's just running with the receiver and
shielding him away from the ball.
Yeah, exactly, and the ball had to be perfectly thrown for that to happen. Good job by number 29 for the Panthers again. That is Raheem Ademi.
Kelly back to pass. Here comes a lot of pressure. Jones is going to get him. He has no chance whatsoever, and Matt Jones is going to push him back to the 39 for a 12-yard negative play.
Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay.
Now you're thinking he's going to be an MVP candidate.
I think he's got a very good chance of being an MVP. He had a great ball game last week, was our MVP if I remember right. And he just came through right there from his defensive end position untouched for a big sack for this Panther team.
17-yard line is where the Franklin Cougars need to get for a first. Not only MVP for the game, I'm also talking about for the district. He is that good.
He is.
So Kelly again is going to be pressured. He's going to go down again. Back there to make the tackle on him again is going to be one of the Permian defenders. Again, it's Andy Notley, who's been very active here in the early going.
Yep, here's our instant replay. Boy, he just came through on that little twist stunt coming from his linebacker position, ended up outside and got to the quarterback. I tell you, Franklin right now up front does not know how to handle this Permian pressure in passing situations, and they're going to go for it here. Quick kick is what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're going to quick kick it. That was another 9-yard loss. I think I might have heard the quarterback go, whoa, right before he got hit. So the kick into the end zone will bring Permian back out to the 20. In my conversation with a coach this week, you know, the first thing he said was, we have got to take care of the ball. We cannot put the ball on the ground and play our game. He said, we keep control of the ball, we can play with anybody. Well, I would guarantee you he had a few words on the sideline with the boys.
Yeah, and let's see if they might want to throw the ball here on 1st or 2nd down like they did earlier. See if they can loosen up those corners. They're reading the backfield. They're reading the quarterback on that option. Let's see if they decide to go deep on them here.
Starting from the 20, they'll instead give it to Ed Williams, who will get 5. That's a good – anytime you get 5 on 1st down, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, and it opens up the playbook. As I said earlier on the last drive, 2nd and 5, you can kind of dial up what you want. They've got to put some plays together now at 2:34 of the first quarter and clock running. Let's see if they decide to attack the field vertically here through the air.
When you were coaching junior high, how thick was your playbook?
Oh, on the freshman level, we had 50-something plays. We had quite a few.
What do you think the high school?
High school's probably got close to 75 or 80.
Oh, my goodness. He had White wide open, the Cavian White, and just overshot him. He was running loose down the side, and nobody was going to catch him. It's going to bring up a third down.
Steen would probably like to put a little more air under that ball and maybe just wait another second and let him break free a little more clearly. But it was a good shot down the field. It was a good pass pattern and a good call. Just didn't execute it. Kind of the nerves of the game as well, Barry.
They're going to call that one again later.
Yeah, probably so. They probably got 80 to 90 plays.
Now they've got a lot of the usual receivers in here, including Higdon.
Permian.
But there is a timeout called by Permian before we can get the play underway. So 80 to 90, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
You got to know them all.
You got to know them all, and you rep them, that's for sure.
We'll take a break. Permian has a 7-0 lead and facing a third down when we come back.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider. He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. Crave Rider. He's spraying Dr. Pepper because he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! What you crave.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Texas Burger and by Mike Podzimny, your State Farm Insurance agent. And they just seem to be not quite settled in.
Not quite in sync offensively. A couple of situations. Just settle down and let the game come to you. Don't try to force things. Do what you do in practice. Control what you can control with yourself and what you want to do offensively.
3rd and 5. Yep. Don't you lose that ball.
He almost did right there, I tell you.
Down to the 21-yard line, so a loss of 4, and again, Permian's going to have to boot it.
After, again, another good gain on first down with 5 yards, and sputtered on 2nd and 3rd, and now going to have to punt the football away.
I'm sure Jeff Ellison's going to get with his fellows, the offensive coordinator, and say, hey, guys.
And talk to the guys upstairs and see what they're seeing as well.
Is he in the box or down?
No,
down
he's
there?
on the field. Okay. He's actually calling the plays. They have a couple of guys that signal the plays in. They get it off the headset from the offensive coordinator, but they do talk with the guys up in the box and see what they're calling. They probably have a lot of that stuff scripted out too, Barry.
Bill Belichick's theory is you have your coordinators on the side with you, and they can call it up because he said they can talk to the players when they come off the field and make more adjustments, more so than being upstairs and trying to do it by calling down.
And most teams do that. There's a couple of exceptions. I know Greg Davis, when he was the offensive coordinator at the University of Texas, he was in the box and called plays down to whoever signaled them in.
Yeah, a lot of NFL coaches do that too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So Permian's going to kick it. Roberts didn't get really much into this one, and it's going to go out of bounds. Well, not out of bounds. It's going to just roll dead at the 39-yard line of Permian. So they have started from the Permian 27 the last time they had it. Defense really stepped it up. Now they're going to start from the Permian 39 as the field has kind of taken a odd turn.
And Carson Roberts is rushing his kick right now, Barry. He's done it on both of his punts. He needs to take just a little more time and keep balanced and get a good kickoff. I think he's a little worried about the rush, maybe. The Permian defense is going to step up here and stop them again on this drive.
Yep, they've had 3 and outs all 3 times they've had the ball. Quarterback Kelly's going to keep it here. He's going to get more yardage than they've been averaging. Boy, he's a good-sized kid. Drops the ball on the ground, but I think he was down. Almost certain he was. Jones came up with it, but he had already hit the turf.
Tanner Adams, number 47 from his linebacker position, did a good job of making that play, but that's a good gain for them on first down as the clock runs down toward the end of the first quarter.
Another longest play of the game?
I think so.
5 yards? Yeah. 5 yard, longest play of the game for them. Kelly's run. Clock is ticking down, as he mentioned. Dominguez will get the ball here, and he will have nowhere to run. He was just stutter stepping, and you can't do that against a quick defense. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So Permian scored on a 25-yard pass play from Steve Steen to Brother Miller. That's been the only scoring. And at the end of one, it is Permian 7 and the Franklin Cougars of El Paso nothing.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
What's freshness? It's Taco Villa's unique heart-shaped tortilla chips combined with creamy cheddar cheese, guacamole, and more. It's a soft, warm-filled bun with Taco Villa beef that's made fresh several times each day. It's a handmade burrito overflowing with perfectly grilled chicken, garden vegetables, and cheddar cheese. Taco Villa cooks your favorites all day long to ensure freshness you can taste. Taco Villa. Freshness fanatics love.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Forest Tire and Diamond Pump and Transport. Thank you to all of our sponsors tonight that make these broadcasts possible. Going to be a third down for the Cougars. Now that we've flipped the field, third and needing about 7. Let's see if the defense can get to Kelly before he gets the ball. Nope, finds a receiver. Receiver's going to be down to the 20-yard line, and it's going to be a first down Cougars. That's Joaquin Lozano.
That's a good pass play right there by the Franklin Cougars. Good protection up front. Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Is zeroed in on the receiver, wide open in front of or behind the linebacker, and in front of the corner there for a first down.
Lozano had 2 catches last week. Kelly will keep it here. Got away from that first tackle, but didn't get anything after that. And a lot of scrimmaging going on down there at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that's Dorian Rand from his nose tackle position making the play there with some penetration.
Yeah, Adams was also down in the bottom of the pile. He's the one that got the ankle to start with. No gain, so it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Now really, the Permian front 3, they have a nose tackle and 2 ends, are really kind of dominating the line of scrimmage right now.
And quarterback's 5'11", almost 200. Looks like a little chunky guy. Yeah. Dominguez is going to carry it left. And just a very sure tackle by Ellison. Just a extremely well played tackle by Preston Ellison.
Watch him. He has the outside gap responsibility. You can see him there looking for the bounce from the running back who wanted to go outside and get to the sideline. Preston Ellison has the outside gap responsibility in that defense, and he played it absolutely perfectly.
So 3rd and 14. Facing the Cougars, they have to get to the Permian 10-yard line for a first. Well, sure like a pick. That'd be nice. Quarterback has a man open, but he also has a defender back there. Higdon was in perfect position, falls incomplete, and if that brings up a kicking play, it'll be about a 41-yard field goal attempt.
They faked the bubble screen there, Barry, and the guy who usually blocks kind of faked like he was going to block and then took off up the sideline. And Higdon's responsibility is the deep half or third of that field, and he just read it perfectly and got in great position coverage-wise to make that incompletion happen.
Ivan Campos had a 22-yard field goal last week, but they're going to go for it here on 4th and 14. Not going to fiddle with that field goal stuff. And he got away from that one. He ducked him, but he's not going to get away. Got to get him outside the 10. He's going to get the 10. He's got the first down. and he's going to be down to the 6. They had 2 shots at him and missed him.
Yeah, too high of a tackle coming from the first defender. I think that might have been Matt Jones. Watch him come inside again, just up over the top, and then they missed him right here again. That's Andy Notley coming to try to make the tackle. Nobody had contained, had a wide open field on the far side, and turned a disaster into a first down for the Franklin Cougars.
And into a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. That was a 4th down play that somehow the quarterback, Chris Kelly, Houdini'd out of it. And now 1st and goal, trailing only by 7-0 to the Panthers. Heading to the south end zone, but I think too much motion or too much time or something's going to cost them 5.
Delay of game on the
Delay of
offense,
game.
5-yard penalty.
Well, that'll make a coach gray-headed in a hurry, won't it?
Well, if you got, especially from their standpoint, if that's what you're talking about, 1st and goal inside the 10, and you shoot yourself in the foot because either you don't get the play in on time or you take too long trying to decide if you want to change the play from the sideline and have the play clock go out on you.
Head coach is Darren Walker. This is his 11th season. They've won 82 games previous 10 years, so averaging
that swarming Panther defense.
Averaging 8 wins a year. Best year they had back-to-back 10-win seasons in 11 and 12. Had a 9-win season in 14. Last year were 8-3, or last year rather were 4-7. Kind of an aberration for them.
I want to give Jacob Wilkerson, number 56, some kudos there for making the play. Jacob kind of know the family a little bit from where I work. Got one of the younger brothers at the school I'm at.
Remember those shootouts that Franklin and the Bobcats had for a number of years?
In preseason, like 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah, and then they played in the playoffs like every year. Did he catch it?
Yes, he did.
He's going to be down to the 1-yard line, or did he get in?
They're going to call him down at the 1. This is the slant play at the top.
Gabe Stonewall is who caught the ball from the quarterback Kelly, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. Now this is where they're going to lean on Dominguez, so I can almost guarantee you that 21 will be who will be toting the load.
Yeah, they gave up the slant on the inside there, and might have to talk about that on the sideline. Don't know if you want to give that throw up down on the goal line.
Quarterback Kelly instead keeps it, so my guarantee wasn't worth the air it was spoken on. So Kelly, Chris Kelly from a yard out will pull the Franklin Cougars within an extra point kick of tying this one up.
Yeah, just a quarterback lead on the left-hand side there with 2 backs going up into the hole, and only had a yard to gain for the touchdown and did a good job of blocking on that left side, and that's exactly what they got. Extra point's going to be good.
And we are all tied up 7-all in the second quarter.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider. He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. Crave Rider. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Security Bank and by E&E Service and Supply. So after taking over on the 39-yard line, they move it down the field, get a big play on 4th down to keep the drive alive, and eventually Kelly in from a yard out, and the extra point has tied us up at 7.
Defense kind of let them off the hook there on 4th down. With the 2 missed tackles, allowed them to have a first down, and even after the penalty, Franklin put some plays together and got on the scoreboard. We find ourselves knotted up, as you said. The Panther offense needs to wake up here and start putting some plays and a drive together and reestablish momentum for black and white right here.
It was a 4-minute, 47-second drive to go the 39 yards. Yeah, the Panthers are kind of just lollygagging here in the last little bit, and they need to certainly light a fire under themselves and do something on this drive.
Look at how many people are in the box, Barry. They got 8 guys on the defense in the box. Going to try to stop the Panther running game, and Steve still picks up about 4 or 5 yards on first down on the option read here. It's a good job. Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Watch. He just comes outside, pulls the ball from Ed Williams' belly, and there's nobody out there to stop Steve, and they picked up 6 yards on first down. Very nicely done by Steve Steen and that offense. Now, let's see if we can do something on second down. The last two drives, second down has kind of been a booger bear.
Yep, we gotten 5 yards or so on first down, 5 or 6, and then nada.
Not much there. Steve
maybe 2.
Yeah, Steve pulled the ball again and went outside. Decided not to give the ball to Ed Williams on the dive up the middle, and really only gain of about 2. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 now. We don't want another 3 and out here. Let's continue with the drive and continue moving on down the field. Reestablish the lead here.
Need the 2 yards for the first down, as Kyle mentioned. Definitely want to keep the drive alive. And so apparently they're keying on Ed, and that's why Steve Steen keeps the ball, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Now they're going to run the stretch play, and they got absolutely nothing because they did not get number 54 for the Cougar defense. That is Dwan Ruvakalba coming from the linebacker position, did not get him blocked on the stretch play. And now the Panthers are going to have to punt the football again. This is the 3rd 3 and out this offense has had in the first half.
Yeah.
And in a row.
Yeah, they punted 3 and out or 4 and out. Then they scored the TD. Then punt. And then amongst all of that, they lost a fumble.
A better punt here by number 7 for the Panthers. Their punter. Good job of covering down to the 1 yard line.
Roberts punts it all the way down to the 1 yard line for a 71-yard punt.
Yeah, did a better job of staying balanced and not being so rushed to get the punt down off. Hit that turf and kept going. Now I think the Franklin coaches would have liked to have seen that young man come up and try to field the ball. They lost about 25 to 26 yards of field position. They're going to start on their own 1 yard line. Now the Panther defense needs to keep them bottled up down here.
Boy, do they ever.
Yeah.
Chris Kelly, the quarterback. Seth Dominguez, the main running back. They want to get off their doorstep if they can, so they'll probably throw it here on first down. Has a man open, but he throws it out, and the receiver goes in, intended for Khatib Lyles, and falls incomplete.
I think he wanted the out route right there in front of Adiemi, and the receiver just kind of turned in and stopped. And boy, if Adiemi would have read it and got his head around up the field, he'd have been dancing in the end zone. But still good coverage by him and a good play for the Panther defense.
Going to probably run it here just to try to get it away from the end zone, and they're going to get maybe 2. Out to the Dominguez will get actually out maybe close to the 4 yard line.
I'll tell you right now, Barry, early in this ball game, Andy Notley is all over the field for the Panther defense. He stuck his nose right in there again for a 2 yard gain. Had some help from his friends, but I'm impressed with number 32 in black and white for that Mojo defense right now in the first half.
Going to bring about a 3rd and about 7. They need to get to the 11 yard line for a first, so Permian needs to make sure that does not happen. Here comes some pressure. Has a man open. He had him open and put a little bit too much mustard on it. Lyles had it sailed behind him, and so now the kicker will be Mitchell Pete is going to be back with his back to the back line and not the full 15 yards that he's used to.
And I tell you, the reason that pass happened that way, Barry, because number 51, Orion Farley, had pressure on the quarterback. He was right in his face. If he'd had time to set his feet and throw, they did have the in route right in the middle of the field open.
That was Kelly that's going to be dropping back to kick. He's standing about 3 yards deep. Todrick calls for a fair catch, and Permian will start from the 34 of Franklin.
And look at how the field has flipped again, Barry. We talked about this last night in the Odessa High game. The field has flipped due to special teams, and the punting of the Permian Panthers has really flipped this thing around, and now they've got a short field.
And then the defense as well.
And the defense has also done it. It didn't let them out of the hole down there at all. You're exactly right.
So let's see what they've got. They've got a very tight set with Miller in tight on the right. They've got Hammond, who's going to get the pitch. Hammond to the 30. First down for Justin. Hammond. Justin's going to score. Permian on the board for the second time tonight from 34 yards away.
And what set that up, Barry, was the block by, I believe it's either Brother Miller or it's number 19. Let's see, there it is. It's actually Brother Miller out on the corner. Got the block and gave Hammond a chance to run in an alley. And once he got outside and up the end of that alley, it was off to the races. The Panthers are on the board again and have retaken the lead.
Hammond had the 23-yard catch and grab, catch and run last week. That sealed the win for Permian. Now goes from 34 yards out for his second score of the season. The extra point added by Carson Roberts, and Permian is back on top at 14-7.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Hoke & Thorpe CPAs and by Mannix Physical Therapy and Ortho Sports Specialist. Permian has a grand total of how many yards? 142 here in the first half. 34-yard run by Hammond, 34-yard drive, 9 seconds, 1 play. Now that's nice.
That's good, efficient work by the Panther offense. And again, I give the kudos to Brother Miller for being out there and making that block on the edge to allow Hammond to get around and make that play happen.
Yeah, we're also going to give kudos to Roberts for the punt that pinned him on the 1 yard line.
Exactly, flip the field just like I talked about before the break.
This return's going to start at the 4 yard line. Let's see if Permian's kick coverage team can do the job out to the 20. He's going to get no more beyond that. That's going to be it. As up there to make the tackle for Permian was Mason Sellers. 31 yard line, the place to start.
Good job on the punt, on the kickoff coverage team by Mason there. Stay in his lane, and just as the runner went to that sideline, he just stayed with him and rode him to the ground. Good job there.
Defense did the job a moment ago, forced the punt from the 3 yard line. Now starting from the 20. I said the 31 for some reason. Starting from the 20 for Franklin. They scored the last time time before they had it on a 1 yard plunge by the quarterback. Permian's done a good job of bottling him and the receivers up. Well, he finally connects with that guy. Throws the ball out again to Lyles, and this is going to be good for a modest gain out to the 24 yard line.
Outside wide receiver screen, Preston Ellison running from his linebacker position. Good job to get there and hold it to just a 4 yard gain. Good job, Preston.
Boy, Ellison's good, isn't he?
He is really good, and they talked about that this morning in that article about how some people are already looking at him for college, and I think he's a good college prospect. There it is again up at the top.
Yeah, they're going to throw another quick pass. Ellison again makes the tackle on that side. As up there as Lozano makes the catch, and then he runs into Ellison, forcing a third down.
Yeah. Same
play
all
over the place.
Same play the other side. They just flipped the strength. That's why Ellison's over there. He's got that side of the field and just again made a great play.
3rd and 3. Time for Jones to turn it up and get him a sack.
Here he comes. You almost got your wish.
Yep. Instead, he does get the completion out of Yemi, along with the other defender, Adams, make the play on Lyles, and it's going to be a first down.
I tell you, Jones had a head of steam coming, didn't he?
He had a head of steam, he's right.
He was fixing to take his head off. Good pursuit by Matt Jones there.
He had to throw it when he did. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Up there to make the hit was
Shawner.
No, was that Shawner?
Yep. Christian Shawner.
Christian.
Here he is, coming from the corner position. He just read it and let the receiver go that was trying to block him, and he came up and made the play.
You decided and really didn't want that ball.
No, well, it's probably a good thing because he got hit pretty good by Shawner.
Yeah, they're deciding to go to the quick quick passing game. Higdon just laid him out, and that was not a dirty hit, no, because he had the ball at the time that Higdon hit him, which is legal, although in the NFL it's kind of questionable nowadays. So it's going to bring up a third down. So they've gone to this basically just turn and throw it right or left, trying to find something to break against the defense.
Screen, trying to get the quick screen out to the edge and get the ball in space, Barry, where they can make some plays.
Yeah, Permian's doing a good job in space of tackling as well.
They really are, especially the last two plays, no doubt. And boy, look at there.
Hello, everybody.
Look at there.
Who's off the bottom of the pile? The guy on the bottom is the one that caused all the ruckus.
I think that might be 90. Is that number 90 for the Panthers?
One of them was Armstrong. Keaton Armstrong was one of them. I thought it was Farley.
97.
Oh, okay, 97.
97. That's Alvaro Ramos in the ball game for the Panther defense. He's the one that caused the train wreck there.
That's what it was exactly. And they lose 6. They lose 6. And they're going to have to punt away. Let's see if Roderick can. He's just going to back away from it, as does everybody else. In fact, Permian will start again from inside Franklin territory at the 47-yard line.
First down.
So we're down to the 2-minute, 38-second mark. Before halftime, Permian on the strength of a run of 34 yards by Hammond, a pass play from Steen to Miller of 25. Those are the two scores for Permian. Quarterback Kelly, 1-yard run for Franklin, their only score. Now Permian from the Franklin side of the field will have a first down, hands it off to Ed Williams, just running up behind Hinojosa, Oliveras, and Reynolds, and he gets a good gain out beyond up close to the 40. They're going to mark him at the 41. So, again, it's going to be a gain of 6 on first down, and that's always a good thing. 2nd and 4. Steen's going to keep it. Steen pitches it, and it luckily will go out of bounds, and they're going to lose yardage back to the 45. Well, that just had ugliness written all over it. It was a hot potato with no fixins. And Permian facing a 3rd and long, a 3rd and about 8. Tell you, Larry, that didn't look too good. Look at the replay here. So he pitches it. They don't quite make the connection, but fortunately, the Cougar defender did get a hold of it and do something with it. Down to the 2-minute mark. We're down to 15 seconds on the play clock. So Permian facing a 3rd. It's going to be 9 yards they need. He tells Hammond to go in motion to the right. Steen looking to throw, has a man open, has a man wide open, has him down to the 30, has him down to the 4-yard line. All the way down to the 4-yard line goes Keyshawn Jones for the Panthers. That's Keyshawn's first catch of the season. Ran the ball quite a bit last week, but did not catch a pass. This one's going to go for 41 yards from Steen.
Foul. Face mask.
to Jones.
Number 16.
And now this is the territory where you see number 27 just chomping at the bit. Let's check the clock really quickly. Oh, we've got plenty of time. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Permian has one timeout left. In fact, they marked him down at the 2-yard line. I thought he was at the 4. Oh, there's a penalty? Okay. Face mask. So the penalty will put him at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal from the 2. Let's see if they dial up Mr. Ed and see if Willie can get in the end zone and put the Panthers on the board. Nope, it'll be Steen keeping it. Steve Steen will do the honors from 2 yards out with great blocking along the right side from Farley and Reynolds. And the wide receivers on that side, Permian on the board for the 3rd time in the half. This one coming with less than 2 yards. Look at that wide space that he ran through. Larry, I think we could have got through that thing. We might could have scored. So on to try the extra point for Permian. The Carson Roberts looking to put the 21st point on the board. And it is good. So with minute 40 seconds to play before half, Permian has busted the game open at 21-7.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Our Trends Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the booster clubs at Permian and Odessa High and the Odessa Regional Medical Center. Well, after the defense again did the job, forcing a short punt, Permian goes 47 yards in 4 plays, 58 seconds is all it took him. Steen gets the honors, the final 2 yards. He is 3 of 5 for 72 yards and 1 score. That was the score to Miller. The others are runs. The run of 34 by Hammond, and then Steen kept him himself for that 2-yarder. Steen's 2nd rushing TD of the year, and again the kick covers team does a good job, nice and solid as they'll start this drive from the 27. Down to a minute 33 to play before halftime. Permian had the 7-0 lead and kind of went into a funk after that. Suddenly found themselves tied after Kelly ran it in from a yard out, but then have scored big-time fashion the last few minutes on the 34-yard run, and then the big pass play setting up the 2-yard run just a moment ago. So Kelly's going to hand it off to Dominguez, who will get about 4 yards before that Permian defense collapses down on him. Coming off the bottom of the pile is Rand. I'm sorry, not Rand, but Ramos. Alvaro Ramos, rather. The push was out to the 31, so they're going to give him 4. Down to about a minute 10 to play before halftime. Nice night tonight, 86 degrees, 20% humidity, southeast wind at 13 when we started. Dominguez will come up close to the first. He's going to have the first. He's going to be all the way down to the 45-yard line. That's the longest play of the night in the running game of 14 yards by Seth Dominguez. 1,300-yard season last year for these Cougars. Certainly a talent.
Timeout. Franklin. First team timeout.
Franklin has decided to talk it over as they're going to try to get down the field and put something on the board against Permian before halftime. So down to 43 seconds to play before half. Permian 21, El Paso Franklin Cougars 7.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory and Medical Center Hospital, two of our sponsors tonight on our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. 1st and 10 now from the 44-yard line. What you want to bet you that Kelly's going to maybe look a little deeper, as we only have 45 seconds to play before half. So this little Duncan thing, I think he's going to try to get something a little deeper. As a man opens, going to be about a 5-yard gain before they push him out. That's Lozano again on the receiving end of that pass from Kelly. Pushed him out of the 49. Shawner made the tackle. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. And the timeouts left for the two teams. El Paso still has 2. Franklin does. Permian has 1 timeout left. We're down inside the 30-second mark. He was pushed out at the 28-second mark, and it will start again with the snap of the ball.
At 34 seconds. The ball was out of
Well,
bounds.
apparently the clock ran a little longer than it should have, so they're going to reset it to 34 seconds. Well, Permian's defense needs to bow it up here. Push him back, way back. Again, they're going to connect, but he attracts a whole lot of black shirts, including Preston Ellison, Adeyemi. Catch was made by Lyles, and Ellison a little slow to get up after that.
Timeout. Franklin, second team timeout.
El Paso has called their second timeout, meaning they have 1 left, and so we'll take it with them. Be back to Ratliff in a moment.
Remarkable. That's what we like to hear from our robotic surgery patients when they talk about their experience. At Odessa Regional Medical Center, our surgical team is dedicated to getting you back to the things you enjoy most. And with robotic surgery, that's even easier. For Jamie, her successful robotic procedure allowed her to return to work and traveling remarkably fast. At ORMC, we want to help you return to the things that matter. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Security Bank and E&E Service and Supply. So after that catch and run, it's going to be a first down for Franklin inside Permian territory. Well, he's got a clean pocket, but it collapsed on him, and he cannot get away from Adeyemi. Not from Adeyemi. Couldn't get away from Dorian Rand. Dorian just moved that big body up the middle and took the quarterback out.
Franklin
with their final timeout of the half. Permian 21 and Franklin 7 with only 19 seconds to play before half. Back in a minute.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper 'cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
Trends Global Productions, Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, brought to you in part by Forest Brothers Tire and Diamond Pump and Transport. Rand with a 10-yard loss on that last play will bring up a 2nd and 20 for Franklin. Kelly stepped up in the pocket and got a handful of 99 for his trouble, and Dorian just put him on his backside, and now it's going to be 2nd and 20 facing this Cougar offense. Again, he's going to whip it out on a short pass. Going to get a little bit more. He's going to get close to the original line of scrimmage. In fact, he got the 10 back they lost, so it's going to be 3rd and 10. And there's no timeouts left, so it's only 3 seconds. 2, 1, final play of the game, of the first half at least, and Permian's going to pick it off. Is Seth Higdon. That's not Higdon, that's Vore. Will come back with the pick, and that's going to weigh the half. That will be the way the half ends on the Ben Vore intercepted pass. Well, it's been a little bit of a ragged first half, but Permian made the plays when they had to. And at the end of 2 quarters of play, it's Permian 21, the El Paso Franklin Cougars 7.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood-look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Well, as we come back to play after halftime, Panthers come on the field with a sign that says "Love them Panthers," and boy, for the first half, you definitely do have to love these Panthers with what they did in that first half.
Steve Steen had that breakout game last year, He scored 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 3 passing, including 217 yards passing. They've kind of kept him in check a little bit more tonight, haven't they?
And he still has 6 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. That's some of the statistics to look at from that first half. Justin Hammond also had a nice half running the ball, 4 carries for 53 yards. In the passing department, Brother Miller leading the way with 2 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown, the first one of the game. Keyshawn Jones actually has 1 catch. You would say he's not in the lead, but yard-wise, it's 42 yards. And Steen in the first half throwing as well, 3 of 5 for 72 yards. 111 yards rushing for the Panthers. Total offense, 178 yards. And with all that, he only had 4 first downs in the first half.
Now, how many yards did they have?
Franklin ended up total offense-wise in that first half, 58 yards. The big statistic is they had minus 43 yards on losses of either sacks or tackled behind the line of scrimmage on runs. They had 43 yards rushing total in the first half.
Permian held them to negative 16 yards rushing for the game last year. And so they've kind of figured out something with these Franklin Cougars.
Well, they're just better at the line of scrimmage, Barry. Let's just be honest about it. They're winning the line of scrimmage defensively as they did last year in this game. Joaquin Lozano has 3 receptions for 24 yards. And their quarterback, Chris Kelly, 8 of 15 for 58 yards with an interception. And as we kick off to start the third quarter, the Cougars will start with the ball going from left to right on your screen as you see.
Actually gets a good advance of the ball out to the 31, so the Franklin Cougars will start there as we get the second half underway. Permian, a couple of passes from Steen. Oh, is that right? Steen, 25-yard pass. Hammond with a run of 34 and Steen with a run of 2. That's what it was.
Yep.
And that's the scoring for the first half. The only score by them. That 2-yard run after they got a 4th down play that got them down to the 2. So now, Permian defense, so if they can pick up where they left off, going to hand it off to Dominguez. Dominguez will get about 5, maybe 4, before he's brought down very quickly by the Permian defense and Adams.
Yep, Tanner Adams from his linebacker position, number 47. Thought maybe they might go to that short passing game like they did a couple of drives in that second quarter with the bubbles and the bubble screens and all that. And
probably will go back to it.
And they may go back to it. They've got 3 down here. Let's see if they do it.
2nd and 6 has his man, but he's going to be short of the first. Gabriel Stonewall. On the roster, he was listed as Stonewall Gabriel, and that's how I had him listed. And then I read some articles from last week, and he had his name backwards last week on the roster.
Changed it up, huh?
Yep. So his name is actual Gabriel Stonewall. That's a pretty good name.
Pretty good name indeed, especially for a football player. He made a good catch there.
Yep, 2nd and 2, or 3rd and 2 rather.
Permian showing blitz from the inside.
Quarterback will have the first down, not a whole lot more, but he does push it out to the 44-yard line. And so first drive of the second half, and Franklin has moved the chains.
First time we've called Keaton Armstrong's name, at least from my standpoint.
Yeah, I called him once, yeah.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Well, then we'll give him 2 tackles have unofficially for him in the game, but he stepped up and made the play there, but not before a Cougar first down.
Go ahead and touch on the defense after this play, if you would. Tell us who they are. So, again, they whip it out right. Try to get some yardage after the catch. They're going to get down to the 49.
Front 3 for the Panther defense. The 2 ends are number 55, Matt Jones, number 51, Orion Farley. The nose is number 99, Dorian Rand. The linebackers, number 16, Preston Ellison, and number 46, Keaton Armstrong on the outside. The inside linebackers are number 47, Tanner Adams, and number 32, Andy Notley. Will get the secondary after this play.
So 7 yards to Lyles. First down run by the quarterback, and he's on the move down to the 35-yard line before Vore, who made the interception at the end of the half, is able to make the tackle, but not before he gets a bunch of yardage.
That's a design run, Barry, on a little block out on the right side. Quarterback ran up in there, got the first down. The corners are number 29, Rahib Adiemi, and number 5, Christian Schauner. And the safeties are number 21, Seth Hignan, and as Barry just mentioned, number 9, Ben Vore.
And they got 14 on that run by the quarterback. Now Dominguez into the secondary, knocked down by Vore again, but not before he's down to the 28-yard line for a gain of 7.
And here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay, just a little counter step, and then came back to the right once it got to the hole. I'm talking about Seth Dominguez. Good blocking up front, and got about 8 yards on that first down run. The Panther defense needs to bow up here, and stop them up right here. Stop them on this drive.
Going to throw it. One of those little, here comes some pressure. He lets it go before the pressure gets to him and almost picked off by Adeyemi as they tried to get the ball again into Lyles and brings about a third and a bit.
That is excellent coverage by number 29, Rahib Adeyemi, the junior corner on the left side of this Panther defense. Looks like we have a holding call made by our head referee, Chuck Alderson, as he saw the holding penalty, or one of the referees did, and they're going to move it back 10 yards and repeat the down. It'll be 2nd and 12. But again, let me say, Rahim Adeyemi, excellent coverage on that pass play there for the Panther defense.
Tightened it up quite a bit since the game last week. He's made several good plays tonight. So now it's going to be a repeat of 2nd down after the hold. Here comes some pressure, and they're going to converge to the quarterback. He tucked it, and down he went with Jones and Farley, and then also in there was, who was the other guy that got a hold of it?
Ryan Farley and Matt Jones, both the defensive ends.
And Bailey Grizel.
And Bailey Grizel coming in also as well to have a little ice cream sandwich, if you will, there in the backfield.
That sandwich lost them 8 yards, so they're going to be back to the 45-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd and 20. At the 45, they can get a first down at the Permian 25. Well, he tried to get the ball to, I don't know who, to Dominguez, and it just bounces incomplete. The lineman was right there in the middle of all of it, and it did not connect.
And they tried the tunnel screen. That's the wide receiver coming from the outside back in to the middle of the field, and Permian played it very well on the inside linebacking position there.
Quick kick, quick kick. So Permian will not have a chance to return this one, and it's going to be marked down about the 5-yard line. No, they're going to. Did he touched it that far out?
He touched it, yeah, about the 9-yard line actually.
So Permian will have the first crack at it here in the second half from the 9. So your assessment of the first half?
Well, I think you have to talk about a couple things, Barry. The defense really, for the most part, really shut Franklin down other than the one drive. Statistically, we talked about that coming into the third quarter here. I think the offense showed some signs of life there at the end of the second quarter, but I'd like to see a little more consistency with that offense as well.
Well, they have Williams as the lone back. Brothers going to be out to the right, along with Zach Hawkes. He's out wider than Miller. A couple of guys here on the left. Miller's going to come in motion. Steve's going to keep it. Steen's going to be out beyond the 20. Steen out to the 24-yard line. And that was a gain of 15 on first down.
Here it comes right into your living room, folks. You can see what Steen saw from the defensive end. Decided to pull the ball and get right back up outside on the left side of their offensive line. Good read, good run, and another Panther first down.
Yep, out to the 24-yard line goes Steen. Try to get them to jump, and they almost did.
They're going to change the play at the line from the sideline again.
Yeah, they've got 2 wide receivers in tight, 1 running back. Steen's going to keep it again, pulls it off of the belly of Williams. Steen on the move. Steen able to keep his balance down to the 45-yard line before he hits the turf. And a gain of 21 yards.
Here it comes again, really the same play. Steve just saw it and kept the ball again around the left side, and the Ratliff Stadium turf junkies got him, tripped him up down here, but not before a first down at the Panther 45. 2 good runs by Steve to start this drive off for the Panther offense.
Yep, up to 94 yards rushing is Steve Steen tonight here early in the third quarter. Again, the 2 wide receivers in tight there. You see Hammond and who's that, Wesley Wabbit? White.
Yeah.
Going to hand it off inside, so Ed gets a carry here, and Ed's going to hang on to the ball after the fumbalaya last week, down to the 47-yard line.
And watch here, Barry. Now, this is what happens when Steve can run the ball around the corner it opens up the dive play for that up back. You saw it blocked very well on the left-hand side, and Steen just gave it to him and let Ed run to daylight for a nice 8-yard gain on first down.
That's what is only his 4th carry of the night, right? Yeah.
4 for 17 yards.
Yeah, only the 4th time he's carried the ball tonight. So Steen's going to throw it. Here comes a lot of pressure. Can he get away? He does. He's going to have to. He found a receiver, and he caught the ball. And they're going to be down to the 32-yard line. So Steen kept his head, looked for his receivers, and found somebody.
That's number 86 for the Panthers.
That's the first catch of the year for Hawkins.
Watch right here, Barry. The 2 defenders for Franklin actually helped Steen out there by running into each other, allowing him to keep his feet running and continue to get the ball outside there to the Panther receiver. That's number 86, Zach Juarez, making the play.
It's Hawkins.
Hawkins
makes his first catch of the season. Now Steen is going to pitch it back to Miller. Second time he's carried the ball tonight. Miller down to the 20. Miller may score. Miller's into the end zone. Brother, for the second time tonight, has scored this one from 33 yards out, and there was some darn good blocking going on that corner.
Watch the edge right here, Barry, on the little flip. Watch this block right there. Didn't get the number, but that's what sprung him around the corner and allowed Brother to get up. I think that's number 19, Nakavion White making the play on the block. He's getting a bunch of kudos right here on the near sideline, and that's what helped Brother get around the corner and get into the end zone for the 34th Panther point of the night.
Yeah, Carson Roberts puts on the 28th point of the night, not the 34th. And now they lead by 28-7 early in the third quarter. Back to Ratliff in a moment.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! What you crave.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Podzimny and Texas Burger. Brother Miller, 2 carries tonight, 34 yards and a 33-yard. Only 34 yards? I thought he had a long run the first time. Just 1 yard? Okay. 33-yard run by Miller, capping a 91-yard drive. 3 minutes, 10 seconds, 5 plays, and that was after a 9-yard drive, a 9-play drive by Franklin was finally snuffed out by the Panther defense, and they lead 28-7.
Well, watch the replay here. I think this is a missed kick. It didn't even travel the full 10 yards. Franklin decided to get on it right there with number 13 for the Cougars. Now, let's see if there's a call here. Nope, there's not a call on the field. Mitchell Pete made the play for the Cougars and gives them really good field position at the Panther 48-yard line. I think it's a missed kick. Coach Felt was not very happy about that.
Had to be. So 1st and 10 now. Dominguez will have nobody but Jones in his face. Jones hit him, and then he got, not Jones.
Yeah, it was Matt Jones.
No, it was 45. That hit him. Bailey Grizel that hit him first. Got away from Bailey, but then the rest of the cavalry was there and lost about 1. Yeah, I thought it was 55, but it was 45.
That's a good play right there to absolutely have nothing on the play. Actually, they lost a yard.
Well, he hung on long enough for everybody else to get there. So
good gang tackling by the Panther defense.
So now they're going to try the edge, and they're going to get a little bit of yardage, not a whole lot. First carry of the night for Taj Crenshaw, 5'8", 169-pound junior. bring up a third down again.
Jacob Wilkerson is really the one that made the play there. He got great penetration in the backfield and caused the runner to actually have to change his path. And once he had to do that, that Panther defense did a good job of gang tackling again. See if they decide to go vertically up the field here.
3rd and 10.
Blitz coming from the outside.
Well, he has a man open. They did connect, and he's going to be down to the 26-yard line before Higdon will make the tackle on Stonewall.
You can see it's right in the crease of the zone defense. Good play designed by the Cougar offensive coaching staff. Good throw by their quarterback, and a great catch and a good first down to keep their drive alive.
Yep, down to the 28-yard line. They go for a 20-yard gain, and going to be first down there. And not a whole lot for Dominguez. Actually got about 4.
Keaton Armstrong. Keaton Armstrong, number 46, from his linebacker position to step up and fill that hole after a 3-yard gain. Read that very well and closed that off on the little zone read. The zone read is designed to
3 yards and some dust pellets.
Yeah, and let the quarterback decide. It's like Permian's offense, just out of a deeper shotgun. Let him decide whether to keep the ball or give it to the back. Here he's going to run up inside.
Going to be about 2.5, 3 yards short. Kelly keeps it down to the 21.
Matt Jones, number 55, making the play from the defensive end spot.
Need 3 down to the 18, and they've shown a tendency to go for it on 4th down every time, so this is probably going to be another 4-down territory.
And down 21 on the road, Barry, a preseason game, non-district, why not? Let's stop them here and make them make that decision.
Permian needs to grab a hold of the quarterback, but he's going to be down to the 11, so the chains are going to move after that gain of 10 by quarterback Chris Kelly, the 5'11", close to 200-pounder. He's a junior. Pretty strong kid.
He is, and Tanner Adams, number 47, made the play there. You see a couple of the Panther defensive coaches trying to get this drive stopped, talking some strategy there on the sideline.
Dominguez, well, they had him in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss. He got away from him and maybe picks up 1 to the 11, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9. They can get a first at the 2.
Keaton Armstrong making the play, number 46.
There's that name again.
There he is again. Yep, he's got unofficially on my book four tackles, maybe a few more from the end of that first half. But I tell you, this Permian defense has made some plays. They've got a lot of guys flying to the football, especially down here at the goal line.
Well, he had to throw that one too early. Who put the pressure on him?
That came from the outside. I think it might have been either Ellison or possibly even number 32, Andy Notley. We've called his name a few times tonight. Let's see where it came from. Oh, it's actually 47. That's Tanner Adams coming on a linebacker blitz inside the A-gap between the center and the guard. Did not get blocked and forced that bad pass. Let's see if they decide to throw the slant again up at the top of the screen.
If they do, that's Shawner on him, and that's the best defensive back Permian has.
And that is man coverage and a touchdown for the Cougars on the slant or skinny post right in the middle of the field. And I think we're going to have a little excessive celebration at the end, but here's our replay. This is man coverage. Middle of the field is open. Just ran a little skinny post and beat Adiemi to the inside for a Cougar touchdown.
So Stonewall on the pass play of 11 yards will get the Cougars on the board for the 2nd time tonight and cut the lead down to half. They're going to looks like they're going to go for 2. So there's no flag for celebration on the play. No, they are going to kick it.
I think
Mitchell Pete is going to come on and try the extra point to draw them within 14.
They were going to try to call a celebration penalty there, Barry, and decided to wave it off, which I think was a good call, personally.
And Mitchell Pete's true to the mark. Have a new score with 2:22 to play in the 3rd quarter. It is the Panthers 28 and the Cougars 14.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Hoke and Thorpe CPAs and by Mannix Physical Therapy and Ortho Sports Specialist. Now the short kickoff by Permian has led to the 48-yard drive by the Cougars.
Gave them a little
3 minutes and 51 seconds to go the 9 plays, and then the pass play over the middle for the TD.
And it gave their offense a little life with having to work with a short field. So that's just a mistake on the special teams, I feel like there, Barry, and I'm sure Coach Felt will address that. They're kind of looking for a pooch kick here, and they're going to get that pooch kick and call a fair catch, which I think is a very good play.
Yep, Caden Worrell comes up and makes the fair catch call, so Permian back on offense. Well, they kind of pushed around the defense a bit that time.
They did on the last drive. Those early runs by Steve Steen on that drive set up everything else. He kept one pass play alive with his feet and then got Brother around the corner on a great block. We think from number 19 again, that's Nakavion White, and got Brother in the end zone. Let's see what they do here with this drive. Going to change the play from the sideline. Got plenty of time on the play clock. Down at 13 and still running.
Steen's going to keep it and get a couple.
And that's their backside end, number 32 there. Johnny Ceros, a junior, came from the back defensive end spot and really did a good job of tackling Steve Steen from the backside for only about a yard gain.
So it's going to be 2nd and 9 after that one.
Larry Thornhill's going to give him 2 yards. He's generous. Way to go, Larry.
Well, he actually did get 2. There were 33 was the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So 2nd and 8. Williams the lone back. Hammond's going to go in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. Nope. Steve's going to keep it. Flag on the play. No, there's no flag. I thought I saw a flag flying in, but my eyesight's not great. So Steen will have the first down as he pushes the ball out to the 48-yard line.
Number 16 for the Cougars doesn't make that tackle right there. That's Caleb Gutierrez. If he doesn't make that tackle, Steve might be off to the races.
Well, he's been off to the races tonight. That puts him over 100, 108 unofficially. That's what Larry has for him. And they've pushed the ball out to the 48-yard line. He's a good leader.
He is a very good leader, and he runs this offense very well. I believe I read he's kind of leaning toward the Naval Academy. They run this type of offense. He wants to go there and play. He'll fit right in. Look at Ed Williams keep his feet running.
Well, they got him bottled up in the backfield, Kyle, and he's all the way down to the 25-yard line. They had him for no gain, and he turned that no gain into about 25 yards.
Yep, number 44 for the Cougar defense, Jacob Sievik, missed the tackle. Give Ed Williams credit for kind of faking him out at the line of scrimmage, like you said, and then he was just off to the races as well, down to the Cougar 26-yard line. That's an excellent run. Probably I think that's his best run of the night.
Yep, 26 yards on that run by Ed. Steen's looking for the big play. Tucks it. Is he going to throw it? Does have a man open, and he dropped it. Brother dropped. No, it wasn't Brother. That was White. Had it. White did that last week, too. Had one right in his bread basket and just didn't concentrate on it. Well, it falls again to the turf. Steve bought all the time he could, Kyle, and made a good play.
Yeah, he did. Kept the play alive with his feet, and at the last minute saw White out on the flat over there, and I think he just looked up and wanted to run before he tucked the ball away and secured the reception. Be incomplete, and it will be. Do we have a penalty? We do have a penalty on the play. I never heard a call. Still first down on the down box. So something happened.
Yeah, so it has to be 1st and 10.
It's 1st and 15.
Or 1st and 15, brother.
There's it. There's Ed Williams up the middle again. That's a good read, good play by Steve Steen. Watch him read it. Gives the ball to him because that end came up the field just a little bit. There's the crease that Ed Williams needs on the dive to get up the field and make about 7-8 yards there. He actually got 8.
Yeah, he got 8 of the 15 they needed. And we have played through 3 quarters. Boy, that was a quick quarter. Permian scored 1 in the quarter, and Franklin matched them, and that brings our score at the end of 3 to Permian 28, Franklin 14. 4th quarter coming up.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
There's a new rising star shining over West Texas. Odessa College is one of the top 4 community colleges in the United States. 5 years after completion, OC graduates earn twice as much as all other workers in the region. First-time Odessa College students can qualify for first-class free scholarships. Imagine more. Imagine yourself at Odessa College. Call 432-335-6400.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and by Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. Let's see what note Larry's passing to me. Williams, 6 carries, 52 yards. That's 8.5 per. Not too shabby. Okay, they've got Miller tucked in tight here. They've got Jones tucked in behind him. And
boy, look at Ed Williams run tough right up the middle.
And he ran tough for a first down all the way down to the 13-yard line. That was another gain of 10. So 13, so he's 65 yards rushing for Ed. Last week had 148. And that win against Leander Vandergriff.
You and I were both kind of impressed with that Vandergriff team. They played really well.
They did.
And Permian played very well in the 4th quarter to win that.
Steen's going to keep it. Runs into a bunch of white
he
shirts.
Fumbled the ball. But they've got the football, Barry. He fumbled down there. They got somebody in their secondary picking it up. This is going to be a turnover on a fumble. The Cougars are going to have the ball about the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yep. Permian 2 fumbles again tonight. They had 5 last week and lost 3 of them. And will start this drive after the fumble on the 6-yard line.
The defender came from behind to strip Steve Steen on the run there. Here's a replay. Thank you, Debbie. Watch the defender come from behind. He's going to come from the backside. Actually, it was number 32, I think, that might have caused that. Like Ryan Farley might have had a chance at it there, but give them credit for forcing a turnover, and they've got the ball on the 6-yard line ready to go down the field and try to make this game closer than what it is right now.
Well, they're not going to get it that way. They're going to lose about 3 all the way back to the 2-yard line. As back there is Jones. Matt Jones wrapped him up. In fact, they're going to give him forward progress to the 3. So he lost 3, 2nd and 13. That was just an outstanding play, and then look at the other guys pile in on him.
Well, he did a good job of getting off the block, and once he did, he just defeated the block, made the play. You're right. That's outstanding work by Matt Jones.
Crenshaw, the ball carrier. Look for those little quick passes again. Has a man open, but he throws behind him. Up there to make the play defensively for Permian. It was Ellison, but wasn't needed because they did not connect.
Yeah, that was a very poorly thrown ball.
Well, if you could stop them here and force a punt from deep in their end zone again, look what happened last time that happened.
Yep. Short field, and you took it in for a touchdown.
Yep. Last time they started on the 1, they punted, and that led to Hammond on the 1-play drive, 34-yard run.
They just trying to get some field position where they can make this punt, Barry. That's just a quarterback run or draw. Number 97 for the Panther defense made the play right there. That's an excellent job by him to come on up the field and get that stop and force this turn. That's Alvaro Ramos again coming in from his defensive line position.
He's played a good game tonight.
He has played when he's been in very well. And you see right there, he played his technique and made the play very, very, very well, as I said, for the Panthers.
So let's see if Todrick can get a good return. He's going to gather it in at the 40-yard line, 35. Going to be down to the 30. Todrick still on his feet. They're going to get him from behind at the 38-yard line, at the 33-yard line. But Permian, again, forcing a punt from deep in the end zone. The last time that happened, they started at the 34, this time the 33.
And good job by Todrick to come up and field that ball and get what he could, not let that ball get on the turf and maybe go toward the north end. And like you said, they do have excellent field position. They need to score and put this bunch away right now.
And don't you know that Steve is just chomping at the bit to carry that ball and make up for what happened a moment ago?
And I think probably one thing they'll talk about this week is when you're running with the football, get that thing high and tight, because the people from the backside, especially on film now, are going to see that and start stripping the ball.
Well, he tried to get the ball into Hammond, threw it just a tad behind him and almost got it picked.
Yeah, a little behind, little seam route right up the hash mark there, was open, just a little behind on the throw, and could not connect. Hammond, I think, wanted a pass interference call, but he's not going to get it, and I think it was a good defensive play by the Cougars.
I agree with you on that. So Steen in the offense with Williams behind him. Second down from the 33-yard line. Going to give the ball off to Ed. Ed's going to be down to the 10. Ed is going to score. Ed Williams, 33 yards away. Back on the board for Permian. Had a 30-yard run last week for a score, 33 this time.
Watch this move right here. Froze the defender that was coming down to get him. And then once he got past that defender, it was just how fast can you get into the end zone. Great run, great blocking up front, and another Panther touchdown. Look right here from the south end zone. What a juke and what a move by Ed Williams.
Carson Roberts on to try the extra point, and he's true to the mark, and Permian has put their 35th point on the board. Ed Williams nearing 100, 8 for 95, and a score, and Permian leads it 35-14.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! One you crave.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Permian scoring drives tonight, 3 plays, 1 play, 4 plays. The long one was the 5-play, 91 yards, and then this one was 2 plays, 11 seconds to go 33 yards, and all of it on a run by Williams. So both times that they forced the opposition to kick from their end zone, they have scored on a play of 30 yards or more. Hammond the first time from 34, and Williams this time from 33.
When you have a short field and a good potent offense, that's a good remedy for good things to happen for your offense, and that's, as you said, that's happened twice for Permian. Oh, look at that coverage right there. Look at that coverage right there. That is number 13 for the Permian Panthers. That is Christian LaChance. Watch him just come up in his alley. Cougar returner probably should have just came up the field and tried to get what he could. When you go east and west on a north and south field, that's not a good combination either. And Christian made a great play on the Panther special teams to start them down on about the 23-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 at that point, down to the 10-minute mark of the ball game. Here comes a whole bunch of guys just converging on the running back, including Alvaro Ramos again. Ramos has certainly got his name popped a lot tonight, hadn't he?
And here's the good thing about that, Barry. This gives them some depth up front to where they can rotate nose and ends out and allow them to get some playing time and rest. And Alvaro is proving that to be a good philosophy. Look at that coverage.
Yeah, Higdon came up to make the catch, to make the tackle, and Michael Hack made the catch and then planted his feet and then went the other way. And so the gain was only about 4 or 5 or so. They're going to mark him at the 27. So it was a gain of 4. And we'll bring about a 3rd and 6.
I'm just going to say this right now, Barry. I know this. Permian and Odessa High both have 2 very good defenses early in the season.
I agree with you.
They really control the line of scrimmage.
So he's got a man open, but he's not going to get the first down. He threw it well short of what he needed, and he will not get it. There is a flag on the play. We'll have to check it, see if it's an offensive holding. Stonewall made the catch.
I think this is on them for an illegal block downfield. Let's see if that's what Chuck Alderson calls here. I'll give our referee some kudos here. Again, I'll get them mentioned on the telecast. We have a lot of them that watch on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, boy, they chastise you if you say something
bad.
bad.
Yeah, I do, because I know most of them from my coaching days from the sideline.
Holding.
Oh, they're going to call it on Permian.
Be a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That is Chuck Alderson, our head referee. Delvin Gwynn is the umpire. The line judge is Randall Morris. Head linesman is Jesse Acosta. And the back judge is Corey Marshall. Again, this is a Permian Basin chapter.
Is that Permian's first time out? First penalty? Oh, fourth. Okay, I must have missed the other ones. So it's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 37 after the penalty. Inside the 9-minute mark to play in the ball game.
See what they do. Trips to the short side of the field, which means they might want to do a little quick slant up at the top here. And we have an illegal procedure. The wide receiver down here moved before the ball was snapped.
Can't do that.
Nope.
False start on the offense, number 18. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Chuck Alderson's been a referee here for a while now. He's one of the better ones, I think, out here. There's a bunch of good ones. But Chuck Alderson is a very good referee. This crew has done a good job tonight. And those guys, they do work during the day and then go and call junior varsity and junior high games all over the place. They do a great job, and it's a great service to the kids of this area.
Couldn't play without him.
Nope.
So the penalty back to the 32 has his man open. They're going to get back what they lost. Catch was made by Hack, and then Ellison made the catch as well and put him on his backside.
You're not going any further, Preston said. That's a good play. Watch him.
What, he get about 5? Yep.
Inside out on the leverage for the tackle. And then once he got his hands on him, he just muscled him to the ground. That's all that work you do in the off season in the summer, lifting those weights and doing those things to get yourself ready to make that kind of play.
Well, he got back to 5. They lost on the mark off. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to get tackled for his going to get brought down after a short gain. Again, the tackle made by Rand.
That's Rand. Can we see that right quick again, Debbie? I want to show the folks at home what a nose tackle has to do. Watch him. He's right over the center, and then he just scrapes down the line of scrimmage. Look at that effort, folks. Down the line of scrimmage, and then just gets a piece of his legs as he dives to make the play. That is excellent work by nose tackle Dorian Rand right there.
Needs 7 yards on 3rd down after the 47-yard line. Going to be a quick throw. Here comes some pressure. Sailed it over the head of everybody. Permian was in good position. Lozano.
Offense number 77. Be a 10-yard penalty.
So they're going to take it? They take it, it's going to make it a 3rd and 17. Or if they don't, it's going to be a 4th and 7.
And you're exactly right.
4th down.
They're going to decline it. Adiemi and Higdon both had excellent low and high coverage on that corner route down here to the sideline. They were right where they needed to be. Only a perfect throw would have made that play happen.
I want to single out Adiemi. He had a tough night last week, but he's really played well tonight, I think.
He's bounced back in week 2 and played a very solid corner position for this Permian defense. You're exactly right.
So let's see if Todrick can get a return on this. He gets it at the 27. Looking for a block at Adiemi. He's trying to break him loose. He's going to get it out to the 40, so a gain of 13 on the return.
Good job by Todrick right there to get those yards. Here's our replay. Watching. Good job of getting that ball put away, finding a little open crease and reading some blocks. Give the Panther punt return team kudos for not committing a penalty there, having good high blocks above the waist and in front. Panthers are in business at their own 40-yard line.
Permian will travel out to El Paso next week to play El Paso Eastwood. They have played them 7 times, won all 7 times that they have matched up with the Eastwood Troopers. Have the comfortable lead in this one, 35-14, with less than 7 minutes to play in the ball game.
Boy, look out.
Tell you, Jones can flat fly.
Yes, he can.
And Jones is going to be down to the 37-yard line. So he goes from the 40 for 23 yards. That is Keyshawn Jones.
Good pitch by Steve Steen right there. The quarterback to running back relationship yardage-wise wasn't the best, but he did a good job of getting that ball into Jones's hands, and then good blocks out on the corner for Keyshawn to run to daylight down to the Cougar 38-yard line, 37-yard line. Good work.
Going to pitch it back to Hammond now. Hammond's going to have a good run down to the 20-yard line.
Good job on the corner there. Watch as the quick pitch happens. Look at that kick-out block. I didn't see who the number was there, but it's a good kick-out block by that receiver down here to allow them to get around the corner for about a 7-yard gain.
That was to the 30, not the 20.
Permian wearing them out now, Barry. Wearing them out. They're getting tired. Permian got to make that trip, as you said, to El Paso. That is not always an easy trip to make. Time zone change.
2nd and 3.
Basically out of school all day and most of it on a bus. By the time you finish out there and get a meal and get back home, it's very early in the morning on Saturday around 3 o'clock or so. Panthers have to make that trip out to play those Eastwood Troopers, as you said.
103 yards now for Ed Williams, so the 2nd week in a row he's been over 100. He had 300-yard efforts last year, so 5 total. So it was a good thing when your running game is churning that kind of yardage.
And winning the line of scrimmage is what that means, Barry.
He's a tough runner too, though. He doesn't. He's not a finesse guy. I mean, he sticks his nose in there.
No, and that's what they ask him to do in this offense, is get those tough yards. And as you go through the game and hopefully wear a defense down, then you can pop those runs like Ed Williams did, and get on out there and wear them out, get your yards inside. Tough-wise.
Isn't this the kind of time of game that those linemen love, because they know that they're just going to get some blocks and let that guy run to daylight?
Yeah, you don't have to pass block. It's a little easier to run block. Look at Ed here. Boy, he tried to put another move right in the secondary there, Barry. Just didn't quite get it.
Well, he got 11.
Yep. Watch here. Good hole on the right side. Watch him try to get that guy to juke right there. Number 22 for the Cougars in the secondary. That's Mark Feste, a senior, strong safety. Tried to put a move on him there and didn't get away, but it's still a first and a goal here for the Panthers at about the 7-yard line of Franklin.
Farley, Reynolds, Higginhouse, Oliveris, and Peterson. Those are the guys up front doing the job tonight.
And they have done a job.
Yeah, they have. Hey, Larry, what's the total rushing yardage?
There goes Ed again up the middle for about 4 as Barry and Larry are looking at that. It's a good little dive play off the right side. Just trying to work their way into the end zone. Nothing fancy. Here's our replay. Watch it come into your living room. Make the play, folks. Nope, number 16 did it for you. For the Franklin Cougars, Caleb Gutierrez, their senior linebacker.
So what's going to be the call? Second goal from the 3?
Give it to Ed again. Hammer it right in the middle.
You don't think 25 will keep it?
Nope. I think this is going to be Ed's ball right here. They're going to come this way. This is where the strength of the formation is. Yeah. Oh, are we running out of time? Well, we were running out of time on the play clock, and the Panther sideline coaching staff made a timeout call.
Well, let's keep it here and talk about our MVPs. Permian unofficially with 348 yards of offense tonight. So let's start with defense. 348 yards rushing tonight. Last week they put up, 320. So they've topped that. So defensively, what are you thinking, MVP?
I think MVP-wise tonight, I'm going to go with the guy that was in the paper today, number 16, Preston Ellison. Unofficially on my stat sheet, he's got 6 tackles, has been all over the field making some plays from his outside linebacker position. There have been some other players tonight that were really good. Matt Jones was really good again. Tanner Adams. We called Andy Notley's name early in this ball game, but I'm going to go with Preston Ellison tonight.
And a couple other guys you might want to mention are who?
Notley, Matt Jones, Orion Farley, Dorian Rand.
Yep, just a good defensive effort.
Right, all around. And Adiemi had a good game, as you said, from the corner position. Lucky there, nope. Don't know if he's going to get in or not. He's going to call him down.
Down to the 1, so it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. I thought Hammond had it, but couldn't quite make that final lunge for the score, so 3rd and 1. Here's the replay.
Just watch. It's just a quick pitch on around the corner. They actually ran to the ball pretty good and give.
He's short.
Yeah, give the runner Hammond excellent effort there to try to get in. Just a little short. This will be 3rd and goal from the 1.
Well, this is where the lunch pail gang earns their keep.
I got an idea who you're going to go with offense, but I'm going to see if I'm right. Steve Steen just walked into the end zone for another touchdown.
Steve Steen from a yard out will score again, and Permian will be on the board for their 41st point of the night. Extra point to come after a drive that began back on their 40.
And you see what Steve has to read right there was a little quick hitter with the back. He pulled it, had a little lane to run in off the left side there, and just kept his balance and waltzed on into the end zone for another Panther touchdown.
The extra point is good by Carson Roberts. And Permian has extended their lead to 42-14 over the El Paso Franklin Cougars. Back in a moment.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Permian Booster Club, the Odessa Booster Club, and Odessa Regional Medical Center.
That's a good drive by the Panthers right there on after getting the punt. Put some plays together and just methodically went down the field and ate some clock, put some more points on the board. And not that this game was in doubt, but I think that's a good way to end off the game or finish the game tonight for the Panther offense. Now they can build and get ready for that trip to Eastwood next week.
So the ball will be gathered in at the 14-yard line. Oh, got a little bit more running than what we've been used to. He's going to be out in their midfield before they finally push him out.
Watch the kicker.
Yeah, best return of the night.
The kicker tried to take him out of the sideline. He went out before that. But he had the angle on him. And they've got pretty good field position now. Barry, you want to talk about offensive MVP?
First of all, I want to mention William is 114 yards rushing this half.
Wow.
But my choice for most valuable player is going to be the quarterback, Steve Steen, who had 11 carries, 109 yards, 2 scores, as well as 4 of 8 passing for 86 yards and a score. And so my most valuable player offensively will be quarterback Steve Steen.
And I think that's an excellent choice. He really made some good decisions as they bring the ball out to the left-hand side here. Steve made some great decisions, and he threw some really good passes tonight to some open receivers.
Yep.
Did a good job. He's had 2 great games against Franklin. Franklin might be happy that if they had to play them next year, he would be graduating.
Of course, Franklin could see him in the playoffs.
Could see him in the playoffs. They get
5
in.
yards on that one, so it's going to be 2nd and 5. Going to look for a man deep. Permian is in good field position.
Wow.
And Shawner knocks it away. Shawner absolutely, he and Vore had perfect field position on the receiver, and just dropped back, and Lyles didn't have a shot as they just knocked it to the ground.
Panther corners have much improved in a week in their coverage and their technique. That is great work by Christian Shawner right there to go to the high point of the football and knock it away where nobody can get to it.
And this is a good passing offense.
Yes, it is.
Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to be close to a first, but about 2.5 yards short. Jones coming off the bottom of the pile. Who else?
Yeah, who else? Number 50 and 56. That's again Wilkerson coming in from the Panther defensive side of the ball. Jacob Wilkerson coming in to make that play as well.
Devin Hunojos as well.
Yep. Panthers have some depth, and you can tell this defense plays with confidence. They really run and hit their assignments Defensively, when that ball is snapped, they play very aggressively. That is an excellent trait for this Panther defense.
Well, it's going to be 4th down, and they are not going to make it.
Nope.
Down inside a minute and a half again. Same player comes up to make the hit defensively. That's Hinojos up there to help him. Let me see who the other fellow
56
was.
Again was Wilkerson. He was there too.
Also Brandon Smith.
Right.
And the ball will go over on downs.
We're going to have a new quarterback in the game for the Permian Panthers. Number 20, Easton Hernandez. He's going to get some snaps here. I think we got a few substitutions on that Panther offensive line as well. 65, the center, is Mark Prieto. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Isaac Gamboa. Look at Hernandez get around the corner for a nice gain.
Yeah, it's more than just a nice gain.
Yeah.
It goes all the way from his 43-yard line down deep into Cougar territory. They're going to mark him at the, 20?
They're at the 39-yard.
At the 39-yard line.
Yeah, 39-yard line.
So an 18-yard run.
Great job by our camera crew and bunch tonight and down in the truck. I'll let Barry tell you who they are here in a minute, but I just want to tell those guys they were absolutely fantastic tonight.
Our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, produced and directed by Bob Bailey. Debbie Bailey handles all of the replay. Lorenzo Rivas and Charlie Pierce, our main camera people. Grant Barrage in the north end zone, Robert Carrillo south. Pete and John Delgado, father and son, do our sideline grip work. As always, Kyle Hubbard with the analysis tonight. Larry Thornhill does the stats.
Ooh.
And that may be the final play of the ball game. Permian is going to win this one by 42-14, and I want your final thoughts.
My final thoughts are Permian played very well. A couple little hiccups here and there in the first half, but they got the ships straightened out, if you will, and made some good drives in the second half. And Barry, we can sit here tonight as we get ready to go home, and after 2 weeks of this early season, both Odessa schools are undefeated going into week 3.
Well, the ball is going to go over on downs. I didn't catch that. I thought it'd be the final play. It's not. As El Paso will have one more shot, Franklin, with 17 seconds to play. So next week we'll be here on a Friday night. Game 3 of the season against Lubbock Coronado and Odessa High. That'll be Friday night. Hopefully you'll make it. Permian is in a bye next week because of the Bishop Timon cancellation. So in fact they have an off week, and then they have, what is it? Then is it Wolforth?
Well, they have,
and then they're off again.
They have Coronado. They have Montwood, then the open week because of Bishop Timon
Eastwood.
Eastwood, that's right, Eastwood. And then they have 2 open weeks, which you can kind of look at that one way or the other as we wrap up here, but they'll get a chance to get healthy and get some rest and get ready to go for the district run in 2017.
Well, our week 2 final score here at Ratliff Stadium tonight, the Permian Panthers take away the victory from El Paso Franklin and the Cougars. The final score, Permian 42 and the Cougars 14. Appreciate you being with us. We'll see you next week when we see the Broncos back here at Ratliff.